3, 2, 1.
Why
There we go.
We're not counting 3, 2, 1. We're going 3.
I was waiting for everyone else to do it.
We'll be synced up. It's fine.
We'll be synced up.
Hello, everyone.
No, I agree, Xander. Oh.
Oh wait, I've got a really good idea. For this open, guys. Are you ready? You're not ready for this, right?
Oh, he's gonna get his legs out.
The best cold opens are the ones that are manufactured.
I just screamed.
Wow. Well, welcome to the Filming Podcast.
Welcome to the Filming and Podcast.
Welcome.
I'm your resident screamer. It's Mr. Xander Langwiston, the host of this Scream Fest. And with me, as always, is my wonderful bunch of friends. It is directly above me. It's Mr. Hamish Beaton.
Joe's actually above you for me, but hello, it's me, and to my direct left, but I assume the way it's lined up is weird, but I'm gonna say left. To my left is my amazing friend, Mr. Joseph Cook.
Haha, it is me, the not-so-squeamish screamer.
Well, this week, if you can't tell, we're going to be talking about Halloween. No, we're going to be talking about the new Scream movie that came out, Scream 6 or VI.
I felt the canned laughter with that
Thank
one.
you so much.
Please add some canned laughter in.
Can you add some canned laughter to that?
Yeah, so but before that,
Canned laughter are you listening to?
it's just Goofy. It's just Goofy start laughing. We're gonna be doing a little moan first. So, Hamish, Joe, tell me moan. Either of you got something to moan about today?
Right.
What's riled you up in the past week?
What has rustled my jimmies? I quit my job.
Oh,
That was a fun one.
what?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So at this unnamed company, please don't sue us. This unnamed company that I worked at, our employers started placing cameras in where we take breaks.
Oh no.
And I actually looked into this. It is legal.
What?
And that's really annoyed me. It's legal. Employers can do that so long as in the contract they specifically state that they are videotaping you and for valid reason. However, I never signed a contract, and it was never listed in any contract, nor were staff informed about this. And our employers began, anything we do at work, we have a group chat, so they'd give us like a list of jobs that customers weren't in, and they began checking the cameras remotely, even when they weren't in, and like saying, "You're not doing good enough. You're not doing this good enough. Go do it again." So myself and 4 other employees have walked.
Oh my god.
We've all walked. My manager, God bless her, best person on the planet. But the owners are the ones that were the issue, and they have not addressed anyone's resignations. Not even like a thank you for like being here. Just blank.
God damn, man.
Meanwhile, bless my manager's heart, she's been saying, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I really hope that we can meet each other again, stay in touch. Owners, not a single word. In fact, they messaged one of my ex-coworkers asking for them to come in. To which they said, "I don't work here anymore." And they said, "Oh, sorry, funny. We have, it must have been a mistake. We have someone new who's like working the job called that." I'm still in the work group chat. There's no one.
Oh my god.
There's no one by that name.
Oh my god.
So
it's just a mess. It's just a mess at this nondescript location where Hamish used to work.
This nondescript location.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Greenland.
It feels weird to say I used to work there. In Greenland.
It feels like they could make a horror movie franchise about what they do at that nondescript location.
It does. And moving swiftly on.
Hamish worked at Wix. You can get saws there.
I worked at Wix, and actually they made a horror movie called Unfriended.
That sucks, though,
Right.
dude. I'm sorry. That's really sucks.
You know what? It really riled me up, but like, I feel like so much catharsis now.
You're your own man
like,
now,
dude.
You like.
Dude, screw that place.
Yeah, bro. Screw that place. They don't deserve you. Well, I would say if you need a job, let me know and I can help you out. But
This is our job now, isn't it? The Fill Me In podcast.
this is our job now.
You had me.
It's our full-time
You
job.
had me for a second, and you had me. I was like excited. I was like,
Yeah, no.
a remote job? I love
No,
that.
you live like so far away from me. But no, I'm sure you'll find something else soon, bro. That sucks though.
I'll find something. That sounded really fucking morbid. I'll find something. I'm good.
Can I
I'm living.
lift the mood with my moan?
I've heard that before.
Okay.
No, you
No,
haven't. So I had a thought earlier, right? I didn't realize
Ooh,
this would
careful.
be my moan until about half an hour ago. And have you guys? I'm sure you guys have heard of a TV show from when we were kids called Bear in the Big Blue House.
Yes! Yes!
Yes, right?
No.
Yes, I remember
Right.
this.
Okay, Joe. It's a banger show. It was on the Disney Channel from like '97 up until 2006. There were 4 seasons of it, and it was
Gargantuan, like, ginger bear.
Oh, is it the one that goes...
yes.
Oh,
And
I've seen clips of it.
It is the most wholesome show you could ever imagine as a child.
You're about to say that, like, someone has, like, Rule 34'd this.
No. My moan is the fact that I came across this. My dad found it on Disney Plus and was like, "Let's watch an episode." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And it was like we watched the first episode, and it was just like really wholesome. It's just really good kids TV.
But...
And it made me think like the songs are so iconic. Like the opening song is like "Welcome to my house." Welcome to the big house. And then, like,
Copyright
like a
strike.
song.
he's just doing that. Like, you can't see it. Like, this is bad podcast etiquette. I'm sorry, but like he's wiggling his head about. And then the final song with the moon is so iconic. Like goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyway, but my moan is the fact that like, why have Disney not done anything with this in 15 years?
I mean...
It last aired in 2006. That was the last episode that came out in 2006. And it's been now, what are we on, 2023? 17 years. They've done nothing with this property. Like, surely this is like a gold mine waiting to happen of kids who have like, 1, grown up with nostalgia, and 2, like now have kids that can show this really wholesome show to. I don't know why Disney haven't even done like an animated show of this, or like brought it back properly with all the puppets.
Disney was behind Blue's Clues, right?
No, that's Paramount.
Okay. Paramount have done something recently like this.
They have.
So Blue's Clues had its original guy who helped Blue find his clues, like step back because he was getting too old.
Yeah.
And they brought in a new guy. But they did a Blue's Clues movie.
It was like
if my memory serves me
Spider-Man No
right.
Way Home for Blue's Clues.
I know, but like Twitter exploded with like people like crying and saluting to like the original guy from Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Take it like trying to find Blue, and it was like, I'm not gonna lie, I watched a clip of it. I went back to it.
Yeah, because that's what these things do. These revivals.
Yeah. I think Bear in the Big Blue House has that potential, but I think the issue is like, it's just, I think it might be too deeply buried.
I think there's a lot of money left on the table here, and a lot of children's TV that I think should be, kids deserve good TV like this, like good, wholesome TV for them to grow up on. And I think without things like Bear in the Big Blue House, they're kind of just stuck watching Paw Patrol all the time, and it's like that's not quite the same.
I mean,
so I just think there's a market for good children's television, and
there is Gravity Falls.
no, but like
Gravity
so
Falls.
I feel like that's a little too. This is aimed at like very young kids. This is aimed at people like under the age of 5.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think people really. Okay, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say
Do.
that as a child, I don't think anyone has ever given a shit about the production quality of Iggle Piggle in the Night
No,
Garden.
but it just teaches you. It just teaches you good lessons, and it's not just like loud slosh. Like, you know what I mean? Like they put thought and care into these episodes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just too nostalgic, but whatever.
You're too wholesome, Xander.
Yeah, man.
No, he is
You're
not.
too happy. Stop it.
I am sat here in my underpants. I guess I'm not that wholesome.
No, it's a nice. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah,
Not the
no.
pants.
How's the rock bottom feel? Huh?
Yeah, just drink a cold pot noodle. Well, that's my moan. Disney, do something with Bear in the Big Blue House, please, pretty please. Joe, you got anything to moan about?
Yes. Now I've kind of got a main moan, but I've kind of got a jokey moan as well. I don't know which one to go with.
Ooh.
Hit us with both. Why not?
Hit us
so-
with a good old moan.
The weather. At
The weather.
moment.
The weather.
The weather. The weather.
Weather.
No,
It's
no,
the-
no.
It's the worst kind of weather at the moment. Do you know what that is?
Cold.
Gale weathers.
Oh, I love
So
it.
bad.
Oh my God, Joe.
I've done something here. I've done something
Joe,
here.
what you've done is do this in the wrong order. You should have put this last, done your other one first, because that would have been a wonderful segue into talking about Gale Weathers from Scream. But you've just made a really bad pun. And now we've got to talk about the Oscars.
Oh,
So-
I thought you were talking about Oh, wait, hold on. I thought he was talking about gale force winds and like rain and stuff. And I was like, I love a good bit of like. I love a bit of like rain and miserableness. I love that. From Ireland.
No.
Oh, Joe.
Should I get onto my main moan?
Go for it. Bro.
So you spoke about TV. I'm gonna talk about TV. Ooh.
TV.
So I love Star Wars and The Mandalorian and Bad Batch run at the moment. Both pretty good. I think Bad Batch is doing better at the moment. But please, both of these episodes suffered from this. Brighten up your episodes. I can't see what's going on. It is so dark. Night scenes and like cave scenes, they don't need to be so dark.
I mean, they're kind of taking place at night and in a cave.
I know, but like if you look at films of the past or TV shows of the past, like night scenes aren't always so dark. You have like bright blues or
Yeah,
you know,
Lord,
stuff
I
like
was
that.
about to say the Two Towers, the Battles of Helm's Deep mostly takes place in the
You
dark.
can see most of that, yeah.
And you can see everything because it's all lit in this blue colour.
Like Marvel is guilty of this as well. Like there's a scene in Wakanda Forever when Angela Bassett's character and Shuri are talking next to the river, and you can't see a thing. There are some elephants in the background. Apparently, they're very hard to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, my moan is it's color grading.
The most interesting moan. Let's go.
Yes, I think in comparison,
All you
the Joker one was
VFX
better.
artists out there, up your fucking game. Our voice on this podcast has an impact.
Yes, Marvel will change their ways.
No, they won't. Never.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
They won't. Actually, no. They're changing the production quality. Hopefully.
Not because of us, though.
Yeah, not
No,
because
they're
of what
slowing.
we've said.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you? I miss one episode about Marvel on the podcast. I miss one, and suddenly my voice is invalid.
No. I mean, like all of us, not from any of us.
No, I'm just taking this out on Xander. Give me a second.
Fuck
Fuck you, Xander.
What are you saying fuck me for?
Yeah, screw you, Xander.
Yeah, Xander. My God, invalidating my voice. Shocking.
Joe, do your pun again.
Oh, are we doing it the other way around?
Do the pun again, Joe.
I'll do the.
Joe, what's
So,
your least favourite kind of weather?
You know, my least favorite kind of weather is gale weathers.
Oh my god, what a great...
Oh,
Joe,
I get it! He's
and that's a
talking
great
about
segue, because we're going to talk about Scream. Oh my word, Joe.
Oh,
You're a
wow.
fucking genius, bro. Oh my
I didn't even
word.
know we were
but,
talking about Scream this episode, but
Wow.
somehow I've linked it.
That's a real knee slapper.
Oh,
That
yes.
is
That is
such
an
a
epic moment.
A humdinger, Joe.
The zinger.
Oh god, you ruined it. You made it cringe. Right,
I know, young Sheldon.
like I said at the start, we're talking about Scream 6 because that came out this week. The sixth,
Not the fifth one,
not
the
the
sixth
fifth
one.
The sixth one.
Not the seventh one. There isn't a seventh one.
There isn't a seventh
not
one.
Yet.
Yet?
Oh, fingers crossed.
Oh, it's a franchise. It's a franchise. Did they mention it? It's a franchise.
It is a
Yep, they
franchise.
don't stop mentioning it.
Um,
Wait, no, that's a
This-
spoiler. Cut that bit. Sorry. I just
this
realised.
is the sixth movie in the Scream franchise, and we're gonna break it down. It's the second one in this new rebootquel type.
Requel.
They call it requels. I call
Requel, you uncultured fuck!
It's a reboot.
It's a requel.
It's a reboot.
It's a requel!
Get it right,
Fine.
Xander.
Fine, it's a
requel!
I don't want to call it a requel. I want to call it a
Call
reboot.
it a
Call it a
requel.
requel!
Because also it's scary, so it's a rebootquel. Gale Weathers.
By comparison, that was comedy gold.
So this
Joe, you truly are the funny one.
wow, this movie opened up to the biggest opening weekend in America that the franchise has ever seen, opening up $44.5 million. The previous best was Scream 3 that opened to 34, and this has gotten pretty solid reviews so far. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 77%, which for a horror is really solid, and a 92 audience score, so the audiences are liking it as well. It's got 77.4 on IMDb as well, and I think people are genuinely quite liking this and saying this is one of the better Scream movies. Are either of you like fans of the franchise?
Me. I put my hand up, but like I realized that no one can see my hand. Yes, very much so. Love me a bit of horror. Love me a bit of slasher.
Yes, I love Scream.
I've seen the original and the first of the requels.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Which I think is like the bare essentials that you need
to enjoy
this.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get like the idea of the whole thing in one, and then you sort of, you know, it's a requel, so it carries on in 5. But you're missing out on some good stuff in the others.
You are. No, you really are.
Yeah, 4 is a weird highlight that I didn't think I would enjoy. By the way, Hamish, you've seen 4.
Yeah.
That movie looks like ass, doesn't it?
It does. No, it does.
It's got this awful filter on it the whole time. Jesus Christ.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, okay, not the same kind of bad filter, but the bad filter syndrome. Alien vs Predator 2 Requiem.
Oh my god, it does. It has the exact same filter as AVP.
You can't. It's just like everything just has this filter dumped on it.
Except like in AVP, it's like the opposite because it's the same filter, but it's made everything darker. Whereas in this, it's just made everything brighter.
It's like It's like watching Star Trek 2 Into Darkness with like constant lens flare. It's like I feel as if like
to that, though.
No, there is, but I feel as if I'm about to burst into flames from the
Joe,
constant flare.
You need to watch the movie, and you'll see. But oh my god, how do I turn this off? Like the movie looks terrible, but it's good.
No, I mean, okay. Some of the Scream movies are better than others. However, I think what we need to like take away from all of them is that they're all such excellent pieces of meta commentary.
Yes,
for sure. And it's not meta commentary that's like fucking like cringily copy and pasted like some sort of MCU line when they're like, have we done this before?
Yeah,
it's
or like when a bad movie in a trilogy says, oh, but the third one's always the worst. Like, you played yourself. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't try to buy into the it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It knows it's set out these rules and it's confident in these rules, and I think Scream 6 is no stranger to that. I mean, it is a Scream movie. That's not a spoiler. They know. Like,
Yeah.
people know that there's always the sit down talk. Here are your suspects. Here are this. Here are that. We all know what's coming, but it's still good.
I think the Scream franchise is a rare one because there's actually not a bad movie in the bunch. There are low points. I think Scream 3 is fine, but I don't think it's bad.
I Okay. What I've always tried to come across with Scream movies is I try and like understand the motive, because it's the movie. It is one of the movies where the motive is like fully explained. Michael Myers, he's a little bit funky,
Yeah.
and depending on what movie you're watching. But in Scream, it's always monologued.
Yeah, it is. They're all murder mystery films. So you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the same type of thing as you do in Knives Out, as you do in this. Yeah. Well, obviously to a lesser
It's
extent.
the violent
Obviously
Scooby-Doo.
to a lesser extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you say, Joe?
It's the violent Scooby-Doo.
It is.
It is violent Scooby Doo. Oh my god! It's always a guy in a mask.
I I have found that Scream 5's motive is so much weaker. I feel it's a little too heavy on the meta commentary.
Yeah, I feel that.
But Scream 6 complements it.
It does. Massively.
Scream 6 complements it. Maybe in not maybe not as like strongly as you would hope.
Yeah.
But it does.
We'll get more into like the ending. Obviously, spoilers. But we will give you all a fair spoiler warning. But Joe, as like a relative newcomer to this franchise, what do you think? I'm also curious to know your thoughts on the first one.
Okay. I quite like the first one. Another Scooby-Doo connection, but Shaggy's in it, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Shaggy's in it. Yeah, I really dug the first one. The fifth one, I watched it the day before seeing this one, and I was like, I don't, because you say it's about like the meta commentary. I thought that was a bit too meta, that one. Like even as you say, like the reasoning behind the murders, a bit too meta. I definitely prefer this one to the last one, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the city setting, because as nice as the small suburban area is, it's nicer to go bigger scale with it.
Absolutely.
So that was
Unlike
cool.
Friday the 13th. Unlike Friday the 13th. Let's forget Jason Goes to Manhattan.
Yeah. Going back to like the early ones, I remember seeing the first Scream, and I actually watched the first Scream after I watched Scary Movie.
Oh, so you knew a lot of the story beats.
And having seen, I'm sure I mentioned this on the podcast before, but Scary Movie infuriates me. Because I think the most annoying part of it is I find it funny. There are some genuinely funny moments in it, and that pisses me off more than anything. But it's the fact that Scream, at its core, the idea of the franchise is that it's a meta commentary, almost a parody of slasher movies in general, like Halloween. And then Scary Movie is a parody of a parody. So it's doing what Scream is doing, but it's just leaving out all of the commentary.
Yeah.
And it's just like, haha, dicks are funny. And you know what? Sometimes dicks are funny.
They are, yeah.
You know, it's a cheap laugh, but it's got some good stuff. Anyway, and I think then I did a full rewatch last year, so these are quite fresh in my mind. They do get slightly more meta with like Scream 3. The idea is that it's on the set of Stab 3. So in universe, you will have picked this up in watching the movies.
They have the Stab movies.
They have the Stab movies that chronicle what happens in the Scream movies. And in Stab 3, in Scream 3, they're on the set of Stab 3. which sort of does lend itself to more jabs at like Hollywood and stuff like that and horror movies. So that one is slightly more meta. But I think everyone forgets as well that this whole thing started off by, it was Wes Craven, who's known as like one of the godfathers of horror because he also created, Joe?
Friday the 13th. I don't know.
Nightmare on Elm Street. He created Freddy Krueger, the most terrifying of horror movie icons. Obviously became a joke, but the idea that you can't fall asleep, that's incredible. That's one of the greatest movie villains of all time. Again, he became a joke. It's a shame. But in terms of Scream, like I mentioned earlier, there's not a bad one in the bunch. Like I said, Scream 3 is like the weakest one. It's incredible that it's gone on for this long and still not had a truly dog shit movie. Because even the best franchises have those. So, most of the cast from the previous requel return, including now turned overnight superstar Jenna Ortega.
Well, she's everywhere.
She's everywhere, man. She's everywhere. It's also returning. You've got her sister, the main character, Melissa Barrera, who I recognise from In the Heights, the movie, which is real good. The Lin-Manuel Miranda musical.
Haven't seen it.
It's real good. You should check it out. And also returning are the two, the brother and sister,
The twins. Yeah.
Yeah, the twins.
Or not, yeah.
Are they twins?
I swear they said twins.
I'm pretty sure they're twins. We'll go with twins. Yeah, they're twins.
We'll go with twins.
Sure.
We'll roll with twins.
Also, we've got adding in, we've got Dermot Mulroney, who I saw and was like, oh my god, you've got like no career left. What are you doing? What are you doing here?
Hey, which one's he? Is that the guy from She-Hulk?
It's Dermot Mulroney in She-Hulk. Oh my god, that's what I've seen that guy in! Oh my god, the cute guy from across the hall, he's from She-Hulk! Yeah. Oh my god, he's Pug!
And all he does is mumble.
Oh, no, because I heard his voice and I was like, I know this guy because he's saying like, oh yeah, baby, what's cool? It's cool.
Hey, what's up, baby girl?
I'll help you out there. Like, he's like got this, I don't know. But
I'll help you scream.
He's.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh dear.
His voice though is like butter.
It actually is. He's beautiful. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. Even my housemate was leaned across to me and was like, he's gorgeous.
There are few men that could strangle me to death, and I would just slip happily into my sleep.
And he's one of them.
And he is one of them, because all he'd need to do is go, just let it happen. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure.
We get also the introduction of Samara Weaving, who's like our only modern day Scream Queen. I love Samara Weaving. She's excellent in like everything she turns up in. And I forgot she was Australian.
Oh.
So it was nice to hear her true Australian accent in this movie. It was a weird one. And we also get the introduction of Tony Revolori, who's a super underrated actor. You might know him from as Flash Thompson in the Spider-Man movies in the MCU, but he's also Zero from the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Still never seen that movie.
It's so good. It's really good.
Oh, and returning cast, we get Hayden Panettiere from Scream 4. She plays Kirby Reed, the FBI agent.
Yeah.
And we also get, obviously, Courtney Cox comes back as Gail Weathers, as we mentioned earlier.
Wait, Gail Weathers is in this film?
Gail Weathers is in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, I think everyone did really well. I don't think there was a bad performance. I think I think Melissa Barrera actually does better in this one than she did in the last one. Because I thought in the last one she was a little bit. Yes, that's Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, I find her one of the least interesting characters in these movies.
For sure, I think she improves in this one because I think she was like a little bit wooden in the last one.
I think her story's great. It's just how she performs it, I think.
Yeah.
in the last one, she spends a lot of the time kind of just having the shit kicked out of her.
Yeah, in fairness, she does.
In this one, however, I like that they are beginning to delve deeper into her kind of conflict.
Yes.
Um, she knows, and this is no spoiler, that what happened at the end of Scream 5, she agrees with it. She felt good about it. And this movie begins to delve a lot heavily into that.
It does.
With her conflict and again the reprisal. I still can't get over this. Billy from the original, in like
Skeet Ulrich.
those flashbacks. Yeah. So fun fact: he there's only very mild de-aging used on that man.
Oh, they de-aged him at all.
No,
I thought they just dyed his eyebrows.
Yeah.
No, they mildly de-aged him.
Oh wow.
But that man has aged like fine wine.
Yeah, to be fair, he does look really good.
Yeah, it's only mild de-aging. And it's kind of terrifying, because that man has unlocked the secret of immortality.
See, because you're like talking about the film as if it's like really good, but I don't know what I think of the Scream films as like a concept. Like I enjoyed them, but like they're sort of just. It sounds mean, but they're sort of just there. Like I can sit down and watch them, go ooh, and then I'll get out the cinema and go, I don't need to see it again. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
I think another thing is, I expect for an 18, I expected more gore and stuff like that.
Okay. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Now, I think my difference to you, we are not the same. No, I think my difference to you is, with horror, I'm a massive fan of slashers.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of all your horror movies out there. And thus, for me, Scream is kind of like that disaster movie that not only worked, but respectfully worked.
Yeah.
It takes everything you love about the franchise, and everyone's been there with their favorite movies. They've all been like, oh, if I was in this situation, I would have done that. It's watching that play out in front of you.
Yeah, it is.
And it's genuinely competent characters that you're not like yelling at, like, why are you doing that? Why?
I guess in that sense, it's nice that these characters are aware that they shouldn't go off on their own. You know, the tropes that annoy everyone when they watch a horror, like, oh, don't split up and stuff
Because
like
it's
that.
just lazy writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice that they acknowledge that. I respect that about the Scream movies.
I always see Scream movies as almost putting up, like, it's like if the mystery, like, it's like what you said earlier, Scooby-Doo. It's like putting a competent mystery gang up against a killer, but, like, they have guns. To me, that's kind of entertaining. It's like, what if Michael Myers came across someone who wasn't just a screaming teenager?
Yeah.
It is a challenge to the slasher, and in doing so, it adds something more to the genre that isn't just a movie about kids getting lost in some old town and a guy with a skin mask chasing them with a chainsaw. Because it's been done. It's been done to death.
It has. It has.
And Scream knows it.
I think the problem with this film I had, I don't know if it was because I was just tired, but I think it's slightly too long. I feel like you could cut 10 minutes from it.
It is 2 hours long. But I was sitting here thinking, it's 2 hours long. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like it was too long when I'm sat there watching it. But now I'm thinking, like, 2 hours is like a quite an unattractive runtime for a movie like this. But I guess it's slightly more elevated than a normal like Halloween movie, which would just be like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's bigger in scale and it's got it's following on from a lot of story from the last film. So
I think we should probably just move on to spoilers. Before that, I want to mention. I want to ask two quick. I want to mention two things. One, the marketing for this movie has been excellent.
The posters
agreed.
are so good.
The posters are so good. There is only one bad poster, and unfortunately, it is the movie's main poster. It's the one. If you go on IMDb, it is the movie poster they've got for it there. And it's by far the worst one they've done because the rest of them have been so incredibly creative. They've used
What one is it?
It's the one with like the white bottom. And it's basically just like a floating head poster.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I see it.
Bad poster. Bad poster. The rest of them, really, really good.
Because there's some really interesting posters. Like the one with the... They've turned Ghostface's knife into like a building.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Really cool.
Come on.
Then you've got the one where someone's playing Guess Who.
Yep.
And you've got all the people up. You've got a really simple one. It's a knife through an apple because New York City's the Big Apple. I saw one where Ghostface is being the Statue of Liberty.
There's one which is the New York subway route.
Yes.
But if you look further into it, it's got different names of different characters and plot points like scattered throughout it.
Yeah.
So, for instance, before people knew that Kirby was going to be reappearing in the movie, it's on the fucking poster.
Yeah.
She is one of the stops on the poster.
Really, really great. It's really great marketing. I think the trailers have been fairly solid as well. That first trailer that came out, it came out back in December, I think. It feels like ages ago because I've seen it so many times. It's just them on the subway, where there's scream masks everywhere. Really good, and that scene in the movie is so tense. Even though you feel like you've seen it because you've seen it in the trailer, it's still really good scene.
You've seen it in the trailer, but it's a lot better than it is just in the trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's something better about seeing it in context.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And I also want to mention, there was something else I wanted to mention. How would you guys say this ranks among the other ones for Joe, the ones you've seen, and Hamish for you, like all of them? Would you maybe want to put some of these in an order?
Okay, I won't list all of them.
Yeah.
Because I need to do a rewatch of them.
I'm doing a rewatch with my housemate. She went into this completely blind. She'd never seen a Scream movie.
Oof.
I know,
That's rough.
I know it, but she loved it. She was like, "Yeah."
No, but that spoils the original's ending.
I asked her afterwards, "Did you recognize anyone from like the wall of villains from the last one?" She was like, "No, I don't think so." And she's like a massive Scooby-Doo fan, so she didn't notice that Matthew Lillard was there. I think we're good. I think we're good. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, this is definitely one of the better Screams.
Definitely.
I want to say... Okay, I'm going to go out there and say I put it in my top 3.
For sure. I agree.
For sure. It's competent. It's smart. It's not brilliant. But it doesn't fall into the same pitfall as the likes of the second Halloween requel, because they announced it as a trilogy, and it's like, oh well, Michael Myers die by the end of this. We know he's not gonna fucking die. There's a third one. You can't have it without it.
Halloween Kills is dreadful.
It is dreadful, but this isn't bad by any means. Some of the Scream movies get old real quick. This doesn't. It plays to its strengths. Maybe not to the best it could, but I want to say it's either a second or a third. It's not the best.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would go with a similar thing. The original is a stone cold classic. No movie could ever top that, I don't think. I think it would then go this, 4, 5, 2, 3. Maybe on a rewatch 2 goes up. But
yeah, maybe. Agreed.
Yeah.
Now, I do quickly want to make a note.
Bob.
You did not mention that god awful TV series.
No, I didn't, because I've not seen it.
is called Scream, has nothing to do with Billy Loomis or anything like that, and it holds literally nothing to do with the Scream franchise, aside from the fact it has the name and is apparently a spin-off TV series.
But it doesn't even have the mask.
Continue. I think it does.
They got a different mask.
Oh, they have a different fucking mask.
Yeah, man.
It is atrocious.
It was on MTV as well. Like, what the hell is that?
Well, that's the red flag, isn't it? I will. Sorry, Joe. I will let you.
No, I want to start by saying I've been looking at myself and I've just realised I look a bit like Billy Loomis.
Oh my god, he does! He's got the hair!
Like, this is terrible for people listening, but like, damn. I'm not a murderer though. I can confirm that.
Cheers, Joe.
I think you're all safe. I think I like the original the best. I like the vibe of it.
Yeah.
I really dug that, and also, you know, Shaggy's in it, so that's another plus. I think this one, like, I'd give that one a 7. This one I'd rank next out of the ones I've seen, like a 6.5, I think. I liked the grander scale of it, and I like they did some different things. I think the bit where this film and the next one, not the next one, the last one kind of weakened for me was like, I've seen the first one, so I know the similar sort of the things that happen.
Like
from just watching the first one, I was like, I don't know what happens in these films. So all of the formats and the phone call, that was new. So yeah, first one 7, this one like 6.5, and then the last one, Scream 5, I'd put as like a 5.5, which I enjoyed. Like, it's fun, like a popcorn movie, but it's a bit too meta, and the reasoning behind the killings was a bit weak. So yeah, that's my ranking of the ones I've seen.
Fair enough. I think you'd get a kick out of watching the other ones. So I'd give those a watch if you're ever up for it.
I think that is another thing.
No, you go on.
This sort of film, I think it pays to watch all of them.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You know, we're not in spoiler territory yet, but like, you really benefit. It's really satisfying if you have seen it, because you know it all connects. Let's just say that.
Absolutely.
Agreed. I will withhold what I was about to say for a recommendation. Later on.
Fantastic. Well,
sexy.
Without any further, let's get into the spoiler section. If you have not seen this movie, go away.
Wee woo. That's the spoiler alarm.
It's not, Hamish. Hamish, I told you this last time. We have a spoiler alert.
Wait, are we about to hear it?
No.
Wait, hang on.
I will play it in a moment once I finish this alert. Listen, if you haven't seen it, go away. There's time codes in the bottom. You can skip to the end of the episode where we will stop talking about spoilers and go to recommendations. But if you want to carry on at your own risk, here's the spoiler section. And now, spoilers.
Oh.
Joe, you first.
Did anyone else love the bit where they recreated the Simpsons movie of Ned Flanders helping Bart Simpson and the family across?
Yes. The ladder.
All I could think about the whole movie.
Oh my god, that took me a minute.
I'm not sure it was an exact recreation.
It was a bit different.
With that in mind.
Little bit.
My biggest gripe with this movie, Gail Weathers' apartment scene with Ghostface. Does it need to happen? Ask yourself right now. Knowing the motive of Ghostface, why the fuck did that happen? She is sitting in an apartment with her boyfriend doing nothing.
Maybe it's because she knew too much from finding the basement.
Actively doing nothing.
Yeah, I do get what you mean,
because Ghostface already knows. Because he's the fucking police officer.
Oh yeah.
So there's no need
but
it.
He was taken off the case, weren't he? So maybe he was just worried that she was going to snitch on him because she's a reporter. But that's kind of stretching it. I do get what you mean.
Yeah, I think at that point you're kind of trying to come up with reasons
creating
for
your
it.
own story. Yeah. She didn't need to die. It seems like they're going
well,
to
no,
kill
she
one
doesn't
legacy
die.
character per film at this rate.
She doesn't die.
She doesn't die. They specifically say
The
she's
EMTs
alive.
Yeah, the EMTs get to her. They say she has a weak pulse, and then later on, they say she's recovering in hospital.
That's annoying.
Right.
That annoys me.
How many people actually die in this?
This annoys me. Oh.
We've got
Ned Flanders' girl.
yes,
Met her for all of 2 seconds. All 3 Ghostfaces.
yes,
The therapist.
the therapist.
My favorite character. I'm really upset he died. They built him up for so much. No.
The people in the grocery store.
Oh yeah.
They're
my
not
other favorite
it's not really
characters.
victims, are they? And then the 3 people at the start. So there's actually because quite a few people do get stabbed.
Chad survives! How does Chad
How
survive?
is Chad alive?
I honestly,
That is ridiculous.
Right, going into this, I was convinced that it was them 2 doing the killings. I was like, you know what? It makes so much sense. They're like, you know what? This does look like fun. Let's just do this. And they go into it. I was convinced. Also, you never trust the love interest. So I was convinced because he was starting to go towards General Ortega that I was like, it's gotta be this guy.
My theory, real quick, and it is a gripe towards the Chad scene, is that Chad will be the killer for the next one.
Yeah.
And that somehow he was in cahoots with them, and that mass stabbing scene we see of Chad getting treated like a
faked?
fucking pincushion is faked.
Because also,
I mean that it
sorry, go on.
it
Jeff.
does make sense. No, I was going to say that does make sense actually.
I'm not sure on that. What I would suggest for the next one is that Sam is going to be the killer.
I think that's too predictable.
I think they're
though.
building. No, I think they're building to it.
Yeah.
I think that it might be a. Okay, I think it might be like a spit on my grave situation, in which that the female killer is actually empowered by her killings. If none of you guys have seen that video, nasty,
I have not.
it is a very old horror movie about a woman who kills people who sexually assault women because she was sexually assaulted.
Okay.
And the whole thing is that she gains empowerment through the killing. The whole thing with Sam is that she donned that Ghostface mask at the end to do good.
Yeah.
And I think... I don't think they'll go down the route of Sam. I think they'll dabble with it some more. Or maybe, just maybe, do like her going over the edge. But I think if they were to, it'll be a situation like spit on my grave or spit on your grave. One of the two.
I
In which
spit
that
on your
it's
grave.
almost like I spit on your grave. It's an empowerment.
Maybe. Or maybe, I think, maybe it'll be like General Ortega's the killer and like Sam's trying to like...
Yeah, that would be the biggest bait and switch, that you build it to everyone thinks it's Sam. Maybe Sam even thinks it's her.
Yeah.
And it's Jenna Ortega.
That's what I'm thinking. They've got to do something big because they're definitely going to do a third one. Because like I said, this has had the biggest opening weekend of any of the Scream films. It's definitely going to outgross the last one. So that's only got to mean good things for this franchise.
Can I also just say, it's been a well-received Scream movie.
Well received.
The old Scream movies got away with so many sequels, along with Halloween and such. Because back then, I'm not saying no one gave a shit, because film criticism and film journalism has been alive for centuries, blah, 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 blah.
But no one gave a shit.
But studios could get away with so much more.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, if it's not like a set-in-stone, like, trilogy, like, Halloween Kills have come out, and they were like, oh, we don't know if a trilogy's in the works. Wouldn't have been made. But, yeah, I think it's been greenlit already.
For sure. Gotta be.
Yeah, I see. With this one, you have the collection of all the memorabilia and costumes from all the films.
Yeah.
This sort of seems like a finale to the franchise.
It did feel a little bit like a
Yeah.
kind of grand overture.
Yeah.
So
for
where
sure.
do you go from that?
Well, I mean,
I say ignore a lot of the past now and do just focus on these new characters.
Yeah, I think that if they're doing a grand finale for the next one, which would make sense, they'd have to go back to Woodsboro and carry on there.
Yeah.
Because that's, wrap it all up.
Everything is so stuck in fucking Woodsboro. That's the issue.
And that's the good thing about this movie, is that they get out of that. But I think, I don't know. I don't know where they go. I'm not a film writer, especially not a horror film writer. I just like to watch them. Please give me more ooh-woo.
Oh, please never fucking say that.
That was terrible. That was more scary than the film.
I want to see more of these, and I don't care where they're set, because I think they are all, like I said, all the old ones, they are all set in Woodsboro, but they're all really good.
I think I would go and see another one. Like, although I don't think it's the most sort of thing for me, I did enjoy it, and I do want to see where it goes. Also, I enjoyed the little stab at, no pun intended, the little stab at people who use Letterboxd. Because literally, as soon as the film ended, I went on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, I giggled to myself. I was like, she said Letterboxd.
Suddenly, I'm typing on my phone right now. Favorite scenes from the movie?
Ooh.
I can go first if needed.
Yeah, I'd go for it, bro.
The end. When she dons the Ghostface
The credits.
suit.
When I left another shit afterwards, it was better than that crap.
When Samantha dons the Ghostface suit.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Because, I mean, it builds for so long. It's been building since the last movie, with her her hallucinations on taking over the family mantle.
Yeah.
And we finally get to see it as well. Can I just add the voice work of the guy, the Ghostface voice? I can't remember his name.
His name is Roger Jackson.
John Cena. Oh,
give this man the credit. Hold on, what was it, Xander?
Roger Jackson.
His voice again on the list for "They can strangle me to death and I will not fight back." It is beautiful. His work here is absolutely phenomenal, as per usual.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I felt as if it was a really nice build to it. It finishes off at the end as well, with her staring at the mask before dropping it.
Yeah, I thought she was.
And there's that little audio cue as well, at the end when she's looking at the mask. A little change in tone. But yeah, that's mine.
I like the bait and switch at the start. Because I was sat with my friend who's never seen one of these movies, and they kill Samara Weaving. She's the Drew Barrymore of this movie.
Yeah. Well, Samara Weaving. A little bit of what's
context.
the word? Context. A little bit of trivia. Trivial context. I can't speak tonight. The guys that made this movie worked on Ready or Not. Guess who was in Ready or Not?
Samara Weaving and The Therapist. Yeah, I was going to mention that he was in that earlier, but I thought, I didn't know they worked on Ready or Not. That makes so much sense.
Also, fun fact, a lot of the original cast were not going to come back if it wasn't the original director.
Amazing.
What was the original director name for Scream? I'm blanking so much tonight. This is abysmal.
Wes Craven.
Yeah, Wes Craven. A lot of them weren't going to come back unless it was Wes.
He's dead.
Until I know that was the idea. They weren't coming back because he's dead.
We won't do it unless
gone.
he's here, guys. He's dead. Get the Ouija board. We go again.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The whole idea was that it was Wes's vision. That movie was such a passion project between all of them.
It was.
And it wasn't until they wrote the cast a letter explaining how heartfelt that series was to them and how important it was to their view of the horror genre did they sign on.
I like that they killed Samara Weaving off early on. It was an interesting go. And then, so my friend, like I said, never seen one, and Ghostface gets unmasked instantly. I'm like,
I didn't expect that. That was cool.
This isn't normal. This doesn't happen.
Yeah. They got back to the house and he was like, "Oh, you're using the cameras, are you?" And I was like, "Oh no.
This is the real Drew Barrymore." Oh, I get it now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I do like Tony Revolori though. I think what he got to say for himself was equal parts creepy and really charismatic.
I mean, yeah, what he played in the movie, I thought he played extremely well.
Yeah, for the like 5 minutes he was on screen before he got chopped to bits.
He had that nice little monologue though about like how he felt to kill someone.
About how she was a piece of meat.
Yeah, weird behavior. Could never be me.
And as soon as you hear Ghostface start talking about, he's almost like furious with is this how it feels to be a piece of me? I was like, oh, this is a different Ghostface.
Yeah,
This is a different angle that they're coming at. Okay.
It's when he says, "Who gives a fuck about movies?" Like, yes,
yes,
let's go. I think yeah, like I said, I think we all sort of have different suspects throughout. I was convinced it was Chad the whole time because it was far too obvious to be the lanky guy again with curly hair. Surely not not another one.
Another one.
But it was when Quinn, the housemate, said that her brother was dead, and the detective was like, "Oh yeah, my son's dead." I knew they were like father and daughter, but I was like, "Oh, so they've got a missing brother. That's interesting. How convenient that also, the guy from the last movie is dead. How interesting." So
I found it was a little bit lazy that he was like, "Oh, just swapped her body out with a few prosthetics." Felt that was a little lazy. Because I refuse to believe that he hauled a fresh corpse up into a active crime scene. We move.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad She-Hulk Man was not involved in any way. I'm really glad. Sorry, go on, Joe.
Yeah.
Can I say my favourite scene?
Oh yes, go for it. Sorry.
How dare you? No. Speaking of She-Hulk Man, it starts from when he sees Ghostface in the other apartment, and he's shouting over. From that to, I can't remember the girl's name, but she falls and hits her head on the dumpster.
Yeah, that
that sequence is my favourite. But that's great.
Really,
that was
stuff.
So incredibly tense.
Yeah, and it's like that moment. He's like really just sickening, isn't it? Because he's
like calling, and they're just joking around, like talking. Oh, he's calling you, and you're just like, pick up the phone.
Yeah, and it's the airdrop that they all get. That's really cool.
It's the hammering on the door as well. Oh,
yeah, no, but it's sadistic when he just like he puts the knife down and just like shakes it. Like, oh, you fucking bastard!
Yep.
You bastard!
Can I ask? Because I've thought this every time I watched a Scream movie. Have they ever recreated the Here's Johnny? Because I expected Ghostface to like go through the door with a knife and just you see its head.
Nah.
Fun fact: jamming a knife at a solid wooden door usually doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It usually breaks the knife.
That's probably why it hasn't happened then.
That's probably why it hasn't
Probably
happened.
why The Shining used an axe.
Oh, speaking of axes, in the final act, there is a weirdly lit fire axe in the movie theater that is just hanging on the wall, and there is a light above it. It's in the background. It is a fucking fire axe, and I was like, can't put a gun in a scene without firing it. Can't put a gun in a scene without firing. And then it's never touched on. It's got this weird light on it, and I was like, oh wow, there's gonna be like some sort of use of that. Nope.
Well, they I think it's interesting what they did with there's always the rule. There's it's never just the one killer. There's always two. And they made it 3 this time.
I think the moment I clocked it was when the police guy suddenly got in without a key card.
Yeah, no, because I think I audibly went,
you made a noise. I was like, we're both thinking here.
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck did he get in?
My friend was so confused. She was like,
Really?
the whole thing was going down. I was like, what? It's like, this is great. This is great. Come watch more movies with me, please.
I'm with Joe that some of the gore could have been better on the deaths of the Ghostfaces.
Yeah.
One's just shot through the head. It's a shame as well because this movie isn't afraid from like showing blood and like wounds and stuff. But I mean, it's a missed opportunity. They could have shown her head fucking explode.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I thought these films were like a 16 or 15, and then
Not to be graphic, but have you watched the fucking Zapruder film of JFK? That man's head pops like a fucking pumpkin. Like we just get a tiny, we just get a tiny little like. Oh yeah, because the assassination of JFK was based on The Boys.
oh yeah,
No, but like
Homelander killed JFK.
we just get a little, we just get a little like hole in her head
yummers.
and a bit of a blood spurt. It's a shame. It's a crying shame.
I think we referenced to it earlier. The scene on the subway was excellent. Really
yes.
excellent. Really great tension throughout that. And
I think there should have been like a little Megan in there dancing. If we've got all the horror icons.
What I will say is that I refuse to fucking like we hear her scream when she's stabbed in the
How
subway.
did no one see that?
I fucking refuse to believe that no one heard that. Even if there was a hand over her mouth muffling it, I refuse to believe it.
never been on the subway in America, have you? But
I've been to Subway.
No, but
Just-
I have been on the train system in Northern Ireland.
well, I've had an Italian BMT, so
Oh, okay.
Cool.
it's a subway thing.
I guess.
I was continuing Joe's subway joke.
I didn't actually understand it.
Oh,
You
God
fool.
damn it.
But
I'm so fat.
I have ordered a pizza tonight. I don't want to hear
Let's
it.
go. I'm gonna go downstairs and have a bowl of Frosties. Anyway,
Ooh.
Oh,
go on, Joe.
End credit scene. Basically,
Was there an end credit scene?
yeah.
it is an end credit scene of I can't remember her name. I'm blanking.
The one who
everyone's names
points out all
tonight.
the tropes.
Oh, Mindy.
Yeah.
Mindy turned around saying, "And not every movie needs an end credit scene."
And
that
that's
was
it. It's like 2 seconds.
Fantastic.
This is like the Captain
smart.
America thing from Homecoming.
It's smart, but it makes you wait through both credits.
Amazing.
Credits are quite short though.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Not when you're waiting for an end credit scene.
How did
I
you
must
guys
have been
know there
busy
was
on
one? Did you
Letterboxd.
Google it? Did you Google it before?
I Googled it.
No, I just assumed there wasn't one because it's like that kind of movie to be like, no, obviously there's no end credit scene. Yeah, I really like this. I'm tempted to go and see it again because and we are definitely seeing all the movies in this house now. So Scream Fever has hit Leeds, baby.
Scream Fever.
I wouldn't go see it again.
No.
I've seen it. I'll do a rewatch of them,
Yeah,
but I don't need to see it again so soon.
fair enough.
Yeah,
I know Joe gave a rating earlier.
Yes.
I kind of jumped the gun there.
I'm happy to give mine at a healthy 7, low 8. Maybe mid 8. Maybe mid 8. Maybe I'm being too harsh with that. I don't know.
I'm gonna give this 4 Scream knives out of 5.
Ooh.
Damn. So an 8.
Okay.
Shut up, Joe. Right, that kind of wraps up our talk on Scream. Yeah.
Wraps up in a nice.
Are we all
little bow.
screamed out? Anyone?
Ah!
One last one out. Right.
That was Joe screaming without the ass.
Welcome back from the spoiler section. All those people who have not seen Scream 6, you're missing out. Go watch a good movie. Right, guys, should we do some sell me a movies? Joe, Hamish,
Yes.
do you want to sell me a movie or a TV show or a game or a music or a book if you're a nerd?
Sure can, Buckaroo.
Oh.
So, Joe's little eye caught in the trailer section on the way to see Scream 6. I caught on a beautiful Evil Dead movie.
Me and Joe, I'll be honest, we talked about this before recording, so I'm very excited to see Hamish's side of this.
So, I am a big Evil Dead fan. I love my horror.
Hamish, I actually love you so much. You actually might be my soulmate. Sorry, Joe.
Screw you, Xander.
And whilst I know remakes are often shat on, the 2012 Evil Dead...
13.
Oh, 2013?
We said the 2012 Olympics.
2013.
2013 Evil Dead.
You're confusing Evil Dead with the Olympics, Hamish. That's what it is.
Yeah. Common mistake.
I've went to one of those. I won't let you know which.
That sounds really dark. Like...
No, I went to the Olympics when I was 12.
Okay.
Right, someone do the maths. Whoever's listening, do the maths.
I have just doxed myself. Huzzah! Right. Anyway, the remake of Evil Dead. If you love gore and horror, it's here.
Yeah.
It's home. I won't go into details because I wouldn't want to spoil it for a little certain someone sitting in the call.
Hello.
But there's so much in this movie that needs to be seen, and it's okay. The original Evil Dead has a certain scene with a tree,
Yes.
which was rather distastefully added with a noise as it does a certain thing.
Yes.
This movie it happens, but it's done in a little bit of a better way.
Grosser.
It's no real good way to. There's no great way to do what happens,
No,
but I think the way they do it is the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant. It's a brilliant movie. It pays so much homage to the original as well, which I can really appreciate.
Yes.
And it ends with a beautiful, groovy. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Me and Joe will be doing a watch of it.
Yeah, I do need to watch
very
them.
soon. Because we're gonna go watch Evil Dead Rises in its cinemas.
Oh hell yeah! When's it out?
It's at the 21st of April. It comes out over here.
Oh, that's
So it's
pretty soon.
Next month.
Damn.
I'm very jealous of your rewatch because I also love the Evil Dead films and the
We'll watch it over Discord.
and Ash vs Evil Dead as well. It's just a wonderful, wonderful franchise. And Evil Dead, the 2013 remake, is, I think, really good. Like I don't think it. I think I probably prefer the originals, but it is still as its own different thing. I think it's really good. And if I was to show someone nowadays an Evil Dead film, I would show them that first because it's much more accessible. I feel.
I feel as if the originals as well are a little bit goofy. In some of the ways.
Little bit goofy.
Yeah, they're a little bit goofy, and modern day horror audiences want to be terrified.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, Xander, all I'm gonna say is the one line of "Cut it," like that from the 2013. No. Like if you want gore,
Yeah.
Watch Fall Love and Thunder.
Oh, disgusting. Absolutely filed, yeah.
and that's why you're not coming on the podcast anymore because you recommended that movie.
That trailer was disgusting, though. I've not seen something that disgusting in ages.
The trailer is vile. And this movie, the 2013 one, is also vile. It made me nearly throw up a couple of times, and that's me. I can deal with stuff.
As a side note, Terrifier 2 is on Amazon Prime.
No, it's not. Is it actually?
Oh, well, you have to pay for it, but it's on there, so it's
Oh my
accessible in
God.
the UK.
My dad bought the Blu-ray and watched it this week, and he was sending me texts along the way. Oh my God.
Oh dear God.
I'll just read some of the texts. Sorry, Dad, I'm doxing you, but like,
Joe, have you read Terrifier? I'm not read. Have you watched Terrifier yet?
No, I've seen one clip of it on TikTok of the first one where he's in a cafe, like smiling at someone.
yes.
And that's it. And I thought, okay, that's a bit
fucking
creepy.
horn. His little fucking horn. Fucking.
So in the first one he watched last week, and the second one, he started off. I'm watching Terrifier 2. The bit in the laundry is hilarious. I love this.
Oh no!
I love this clown. To which my friend had on my phone and responded, "Don't talk about your son that way," which I thought was quite funny.
Aww.
The little brother has a freakishly long neck. The girl who plays the main part, the high school girl, 28 years old in real life. So they're fully pulling like a Spider-Man 2002 on us. Then the clown has just served sweets to kids out of a woman's severed head with 3 laughing faces.
Yep.
And then describing a kill, scalped, an arm pulled off, an eye slashed, an arm split in 2, slashed, bleached, salted, and then carved. Brutal.
Oh no, I know this one! Oh, I know that one! Oh, that's rough!
Shoving mash into the mother's shotgunned head was disgusting.
Yeah.
The little girl pooing on the floor was disgusting.
Yeah.
The old carnival? Seriously? Then, I'm guessing the clown is their dad. Then, it all gets a bit silly, really. He's been speared in the head, blasted with a shotgun, and is still fine. She is now stabbed with a sword and having some sort of hallucination in the clown cafe. She drowned in her own hallucination, and now the sword is magic. Good grief.
Yep.
And the clown is eating the giraffe kid.
Yep.
And then he put, ooh, post-credit scene. And I FaceTimed him during the post-credit scene. And he was viscerally disgusted. He was like, what's going on? Why did you make me watch this? Yeah, if you want more tweet-alongs from my dad, or text-alongs from my dad, let us know, because my dad's really funny sometimes.
Your dad had some amazing comments about me on his
Oh my god, yes.
I have just strategically deafened to avoid all those spoilers.
Apologies, Joe. I didn't even think about that.
That's alright.
But yeah, back to Evil Dead. Evil Dead franchise, immense. Joe, I really hope you like them. And especially, I really hope you like Army of Darkness because it's super underrated.
Army of Darkness.
Joe, sell me a movie.
Haha. Wave after wave, wave after wave. It's Waves, which is actually what you recommended, Sander.
Waves.
I watched it. Damn, that was a hard hitting film. Like, you can watch it on Apple TV. I don't know where else it is. But
you'll be able to rent it somewhere. I'll get it on Blu-ray.
You'd be able to rent it, yeah. But like, the first hour and a half, I'd say, is edge of your seat stuff. It just slowly builds, and you're like, oh, it's just gonna get worse and worse, and it does, and then something happens to the aspect ratio, and you're like, oh, here we go. And like, me and Suwon literally screamed like, oh my god. But like, strangely enough, after that, it's a lovely change of pace. Like the second half of the film, it's like, this is actually quite a bit of a comfort film. The end bit. So it starts off of you pooing yourself, and it ends with like, oh, that was lovely.
It's like
I haven't seen this movie, and I have several questions.
Okay, go for it.
I would say like the first half is how a family would fall apart, and the second half is how they come back family together. Would come back together. It's
that's a good way of putting it.
It's a beautiful movie. It's so well shot, and the soundtrack is awesome. It's so good. There was
no wave after wave. That wasn't in it, so that was a missed opportunity.
Show.
Got
I've got the soundtrack. They made a playlist for it on Spotify, and I've got that on my phone. It is excellent. The song from the credits, Sound and Color, it might be one of my favorite songs of all time. It's such a good vibe. The performances are heavy hitting, and it's got
so good.
It's got 2 great performances from 2. At the time, I think they're still technically kind of coming up, but Kelvin Harrison Jr. and Taylor Russell. These guys are amazing actors.
Are they the brother and sister?
They're the brother and sister.
They were amazing.
Yeah, what great performances in this movie. Yeah.
That's why it's recommendations, Hamish. You should watch this movie. It's really good.
I should.
Yeah. I watched it quite recently. I think that's when I told you to watch it, Joe. And my housemate was like, I watched it with her, and she said that was exhausting. Like, it is quite emotionally exhausting. You know, it really takes a lot out of you to watch it. So it's not, it isn't for everyone. But like, I'm so glad you watched it and liked it.
I remember the first 20 minutes. We had to pause because she wanted to make a cup of tea, and I was like, "Can you hurry up and make the tea? Because I want to continue this film. We need to continue this film. It's so good."
On the opposite end of exhausting movies, emotionally exhausting movies, I did a drunk rewatch of me and Joe's favorite movie, The Bubble.
You watched The Bubble
in preparation. In preparation for us doing a drunk watch of it, Xander.
Hang on, you've rehearsed it. You've rehearsed.
I have.
You've rehearsed
No. I drank. Okay. I have drinking game rules for it, and I drank through 2 liters of cider, and cracked into a bottle of vodka in the time that it took to watch that movie. Prepare yourselves.
Patreon exclusive.
Drunk
commentary. Ooh.
Drunk commentary.
Ideas.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
hello.
Okay.
Film commentaries.
That's a really good sell me movie, Joe. Thank you for reselling my movie.
That's alright. Wait, you made this movie? Damn.
Xander did in fact make every movie.
I made every single.
You made The Bubble.
I made. Oh no, I didn't make that one. I promise. I promise. So
All right, Xander, sell us a.
last week
Movie.
I sold you a once in a lifetime movie watching experience. I last time I recommended The Cocaine Bear.
Oh.
So this
It
time
was pretty good, that film.
I would like to discuss a movie that we kind of like grazed over during our recap of the year, and that is The Whale.
Ooh, I want to see this.
Yes!
I saw this. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not fresh in my head. I watched it a few weeks ago, but I couldn't think of anything else to recommend. But I will talk about this. I've got things to say. You will all know this as the movie that Brendan Fraser has just won a Best Actor Oscar for, and immediately, well deserved. He's very good in this. It's a really great performance. I thought the movie was just okay. I didn't fall in love with the movie. I think it's I think it's a little bit too acty. There's not much going on, and so all you've really got to work with is the actors, and the actors are giving great performances, but it's nothing but acting for like 2+ hours, and I'm like,
how dare they act in a movie?
How dare the actors do what we pay them to do?
You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. It's exhausting.
Yeah. I don't know, Xander. I feel as if you're being a bit privileged right now. God damn it, Xander. It's almost like, don't you have a degree in acting as well?
Yes, I do. And you know what?
I think you're just
How dare
that
you
you're not in a
do?
movie.
How dare you do that? How dare you,
How
Xander?
dare
How
they
dare
make a movie
you?
about a fat man and not cast me? What the hell? Like,
I'm sorry. I fall into that casting as well. Don't you worry.
Yeah, like I said, I think I completely didn't recognize Iron Man 3 kid as well in this.
Oh yeah, no,
Ty Simpkins. I didn't realize it was him until the end credits. I was like, hang on a second, I recognize that name. That's Ty Simpkins. That's the kid from Insidious. And I think...
Oh shit, he is the kid from Insidious. Oh my god.
I think Sadie Sink does really well as well. She's like... She clearly has acting chops. We've seen it now in a few things from Stranger Things, and she's really good in that Fear Street and now in this. But I think, like, her character is so irredeemably evil. Like, I feel like the movie tries to make excuses for her and tries to, like... You know, give her like, oh yeah, she's actually doing this, and I don't know. She just like, she needs to be like kicked, like in the head.
We've all
from the server.
We've all come across movies like that. Like, okay, not to staple everything back to Marvel, but
No, for sure.
Fucking Black Widow, dude. The mum in Black Widow is like the worst person on the planet.
She suffocated a pig.
She suffocates pigs. She actively like feeds children and continued to feed children into like this abusive like way of life. And it's like by the end of the movie, we're like, oh,
How
we're
dare a mum
supposed to
feed her
forgive
children?
her. There was forgive her. It's okay. She changed
It's
sides.
still a pretty good film, though.
I fucking refuse.
It's a very good film.
You're wrong.
I'm right, actually.
You're wrong.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean about like just irredeemable characters, but I think the movie tries really hard to, like, it's not just your typical like action movie. You know, it's like
Yeah,
The-
no,
the whole-
it tries to do it with emotions.
yeah, and it's just like, no, I hate this person. She's awful. So yeah, I think it's like I said. I think it is clearly a good movie. The performances are incredible. I just don't see myself ever wanting to watch this again.
That's valid.
There were also some scenes that like I wanted to walk out and like I wanted to take a minute and look away from. Like when he's eating, I find that so uncomfortable. I think that's mainly my own problem. I got some mental shit. So I don't want to watch like people like binge eating and stuff like that. Like that really like makes me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, it's like I said, it's clearly good, but I just can't like ever picture myself seeing this again. It's one of those movies where you'll want to see the performance, and so if you see the Oscars highlights, you'll see the performance, you'll see the big bits. I feel like you kind of get what the movie's about from that. I don't think you need to spend your money on this one.
So it's not a recommendation?
Oh,
Or it's a recommendation not to watch it?
well, it's just like letting you know our thoughts. You know, a
Okay.
recommendation.
It's
Doesn't
a
necessarily have to be a good
recommendation
thing.
to. It's a recommendation to indulge in the performance, but not the movie.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, you guys would be really great politicians.
Thank you.
Right,
I pride myself on being a shitty person.
that will do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you have liked the episode, please give us like a 5-star rating or whatever it is on your platform. It really does help us out. Next week, what was the plan? Are we?
I
going
think
back to...
Shazam is next.
Is it Shazam next week?
Is it?
Fuck.
I think so.
I guess I gotta watch.
Is it?
I
Wait,
gotta
should we
go
quickly
watch
look
Shazam.
before we?
It does come out on Friday.
Oh shit! Then it is.
Oh damn.
Damn.
Okay, so yeah, Shazam is next week. We'll
Damn.
see how much we have to talk about that one.
I already have words to say on it because they did a TV spot revealing a character that's in the movie
Yes.
that Joe has not seen.
I've not seen it.
Somehow,
I've not seen it.
somehow, that's incredible from you, Joe. I don't know how you've seen
It really infuriates me because I think it's from the end of the movie. It looks like it's from the end of the movie.
that. Yeah, no. I hate
Um,
trailers, man, so much.
Fucking-
They're good for transporting materials for like buildings, though.
Oh, shut up,
Shut the
Joe.
fuck
Joe,
up.
just tell the people where they can find you. Where can the people find you, Joe?
They can find me in Greenland currently on a mission to save the Arctic monkeys, not the band, actual monkeys that are like Arctic. No, they can
I'm
find
gonna
me.
read out your Twitter handle in a second. Fucking get to it.
No, you can find me on Twitter at Cook11Joseph, where I talk and other stuff. You can also find me on YouTube at Rebel Whovian, where I post videos mainly about Doctor Who, all that
Let's go.
good stuff. And then you can also find me on Instagram at JoeCook_digital artist, where I post a load of my arty shenanigans. Yes, that's where you can find me, if you wish to do so. What about you guys?
Hamish. Shoot.
Well, so I have just started another Instagram. Another one.
Another one.
I have a art page at Scars Art and Toaster. Scars Art and Toaster. For those who don't know, my handle on Discord is Scar and Their Toaster, so you get the idea. I do vaguely amateur art there, though I got commissioned for $300, but for some reason to draw a picture of someone's dog, and it turned out to be a scam. But they really wanted me to draw a picture of the dog. They actually asked me if I could do it anyway. So that was a moment. It's like, oh, switching teams. You can find me on Twitter at Beaten Hamish, where I talk about things and like Joe's old tweets. If you like, if you
God damn it.
to interact with me on Twitter, feel free to shoot me a DM or just at me. I have nothing to do with my life. Xander, where can the people find you?
You can just find me on the official Film Me in Pod Instagram and the Facebook page, where you can just comment on anything we post out. That includes the posters that Joe lovingly makes. So go and check those out. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys next week for Shazam!
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 Fury of the Gods.
I will do that so many times next week. You have no idea. Right,
What
we
a
look forward to
loser.
seeing you guys next week, and stay frosty. You stay classy,
stay
San
moist.
Diego. Right,
See
see you
ya.
later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Shazam!
Zoo.